Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a technology that could one day save your life. Or it could end up reinforcing the very problems that make our healthcare systems so unequal. We're talking about artificial intelligence and the quiet revolution it's kicking off everywhere, from the doctor's office to the research lab. So, picture this. And this isn't some far-off future. This is happening as we speak. A doctor sits down at her desk, her computer instantly recognizes her face, and boom, it's already a step ahead, pulling up the first patient's chart for the day. This is right where our story begins.
So what does an AI-powered doctor's visit actually look like? I mean, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's a new reality of care that's already starting to take shape.
Okay, so in this visit, the doctor can just say, "Please summarize the past record." And just like that, the AI spits out a perfect, concise summary. Then reconcile medications, and the AI sifts through a messy pile of prescriptions and pharmacy records to create one single, accurate, up-to-date list. After the exam, the doctor can click a button to suggest actions, and the AI offers up a list of possible tests and refills. It's like having the world's smartest assistant, streamlining every single step.
All right, now let's zoom out from that one appointment. What's the big promise of AI in medicine? We're talking about a fundamental revolution in how we approach health, but on a massive scale.
And the potential here is just staggering. It really boils down to four key areas. First, imagine AI spotting diseases way earlier than we ever could before, or creating treatment plans that are personalized not just for your condition, but for your unique genetic makeup. It could even predict which patients are at a high risk for complications before they get sick. And finally, it could help people actually stick to taking their medication, which you might be surprised to hear is a huge ongoing challenge in healthcare.
And this revolution isn't just happening in the clinic, it's happening in the lab. AI tools like AlphaFold are doing something incredible, predicting the complex 3D shapes of proteins. This has been called a stunning advance, so profound in fact that it actually contributed to a Nobel Prize. It is completely changing biological research and supercharging the hunt for new drugs. And this isn't just about better medicine. It's also about the money. Generative AI, the same tech that powers things like ChatGPT, is also making the business of healthcare way more efficient. For insurance companies, it's expected to slash administrative costs by as much as 20% and medical costs by up to 10%, just by automating all that tedious stuff like claims and authorizations.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory. Amazing, even. But how much of it is actually being used in hospitals right now, today?
Well, the answer might actually surprise you. This isn't a slow trickle, it's a flood. The FDA has been greenlighting AI-powered medical devices at a frankly breathtaking pace. Just look at this list. It's everything from tools that analyze CT scans to monitors that predict heart problems. Let me put a number on that for you. As of mid-2025, we're talking about over 700 different AI-enabled medical devices that have been authorized for use in the United States. So this technology isn't on the horizon, it's already here. But, and this is a huge but, this incredibly fast adoption comes with a massive warning. What happens when these powerful, data-hungry systems start learning from our messy, imperfect world? Because here's the catch. These AI models are trained on mountains of human-generated data, our own clinical notes, our decisions, our diagnoses. And if that data contains our biases, the AI doesn't just learn them, it can amplify them, hard-coding inequality into the system on a massive scale. And one of the biggest problems is something researchers call stigmatizing language. These are words and phrases that get written into a patient's medical record that carry these negative and often unconscious judgments. Words like non-compliant, agitated, or refused. Let's look at a real-world example from an actual health record. A doctor notes that after a fall, the patient was very combative. Now, that single word, combative, it might seem like a simple description, but it can set off a chain reaction of negative assumptions that follows that patient around forever. And, critically, it becomes a data point for the AI to learn from. And this shows you the real-world impact. One study built an AI to predict if a patient was likely to die. When the model was trained on notes that included that stigmatizing language, its predictions for Black patients were almost 3% less accurate than for white patients. But get this, when they simply removed those biased words from the training data, that accuracy gap almost vanished, dropping to virtually zero. The takeaway is chilling. The AI learns our bias, and the consequences can be life and death. So, with these incredibly powerful new tools and all their hidden flaws, where does that leave the human on the front lines? Where does it leave the doctor?
Well, there's this fascinating, kind of counterintuitive idea that instead of saving doctors' time, AI could become a Trojan horse. The big promise is efficiency, right? The gift of time. But the reality might be even more work for doctors, who now have to spend their precious time double-checking the AI's output, hunting for errors, and constantly being on the lookout for bias.
What this all means is that the doctor's job isn't going away. Not at all. It's just evolving, big time. The doctor of the future needs to be more than just a great clinician. They'll need to double down on those uniquely human skills, like empathy, but also get really fluent in the limitations of AI, learn to navigate these tricky ethical gray areas, and somehow stay on top of a legal landscape that's changing by the day. So, here we are. We're standing at a massive crossroads, looking at a future that is filled with both incredible, world-changing potential and some really serious ethical hurdles we have to clear. And that brings us to the most important question of all. As AI becomes as common in medicine as the stethoscope, how do we make sure it listens to every single patient equally? The challenge ahead isn't just about writing better code, it's about building a better, more equitable system. It's about cleaning up our data, confronting our own biases, and making a conscious choice about the kind of future we want. Because in the end, this isn't a technical problem, it's a human one.